SIdelying rotator cuff. So you want to get a nice pillow so that your neck is in line with your body. I never like to do things from a head up position because look at what that's doing to my spine. So neck is nice and supported. Of course, me with some baby's toys. I like the knees to be 90 degrees right in front of, 90 degrees with the trunk right in front of your hips. That neutralizes the back. If they're lower, it's easy to arch the back and overuse that back. Here, a little harder to do. Then I like a prop under the elbow. So it could be a rolled up towel, a baby pillow, lots of different things. So a lightweight between 3, max 8 pounds here. We're looking for time and endurance versus heavy weights. So I have a 90 degree in my elbow. I use this bottom arm to keep that shoulder back because as I rotate forward and back, this is the motion. I don't want this shoulder to rotate forward. I want it to work like a rotisserie inside the shoulder socket. It's a ball and socket joint. So as you're doing, I'm going to demonstrate. It's a ball and socket joint. I want it to be doing this, rotating within that shoulder socket. I don't want the whole shoulder socket to move, which would be this rolling forward and back. So load that shoulder blade. I start at the top, shoulder down, hug. So I feel my shoulder blade already. I keep that hug as I rotate forward and back. And then I do this for a period of time. You can do number of reps or you can do time, but I want you to focus to feel the back of the shoulder. Every now and then check that the shoulder's down away from your ear. Your elbow is rested on this pillow. That's key to have a prop under your elbow. If your elbow's pushed up against your side, you're going to be cutting off the blood supply to your rotator cuff. So that's very counterproductive in this exercise where we're trying to pump blood and build muscle in that rotator cuff. So note that the rotator cuff is 4 tiny little muscles, 3 on the back side of the shoulder blade, one of those is just under, and 1 on the inside of the shoulder blade. When you rotate back, you're getting those 3. When you keep that shoulder blade hug and slow it down forward, you are working eccentrically, the subscapularis, which is then your internal rotator that lines the inside of the shoulder blade. Just want to go to get a nice burn. It usually doesn't take long. Sadly, we need about 16 hours of endurance on these muscles. No wonder we all have headaches, shoulder problems, and maybe something down the arm. Okay, rest. So I have a tuber on my knee because I'll show in a different video pairing of this exercise with others. But now I'm just going to switch sides and do the other way. So again, fetal position. Head is rested and in line with your trunk. Knees are in front of the hips. You've got your prop for your elbow. Start at that top 90 degrees. Elbows right above your hip or waist, depending on how long your hip and waist are. And then shoulders loaded back. So I feel my shoulder blade. I'm keeping that loaded as I slowly go forward and back. Now, I use this bottom hand, like I said, as a cue to keep that shoulder back, and that really keeps my shoulder honest. Try to relax the neck, keep the back out of it, but the abs are gently engaged. We always want it supporting. The thing to think about too is if you can't stop the shoulder from rolling forward, this is what it would look like, that shoulder rolling forward. Don't go quite so far forward. The focus is on going back only as far as you can go. You know, people with shoulder surgeries or special shoulder conditions will not have the same range of motion as people without injuries or surgeries. So listen to your body on range of motion, but this is a limited range of motion. Now, someone who has screws and pins might be in even more limited range of motion internally. So listen to your body, listen to your doctor, physical therapist recommendations. But not everybody will have the same range of motion, and that is okay. A lot of people tell me they feel the arm too much or the neck too much. You might be using too much weight or recruiting the wrong muscles, or this is just so tight that it needs to fire as well for now. And that's okay, as long as we're feeling back here. So try to minimize the rest and feel as much as you can back there. And go for an amount of time. We want to build endurance in those muscles so they can support you. If you have any neck issues, rotator cuff needs to be strengthened. If you have shoulder, elbow, wrist issues, rotator cuff needs to be strengthened. This is just a hip level external rotation. But lying down, we take the weight of the head out of it because you do it upright and sometimes that head is pulling things forward, recruiting the neck. So lying down, we take that 8 to 10 pounds out of the equation. We get things loaded. You can actually, like I said, when I lie down there, I start at the top and just load that shoulder blade back and down, and then I have this other hand to prop it. So it's taking some variables out, making it easier to isolate that ever so important rotator cuff.